What's going on, and welcome to the video. Thank you for joining. In this one, I sit down with my amazing wife and we have a conversation over a very well done steak dinner. We have some fun, but we also get a little deep. I may or may not have cried. I guess you'll have to wait and see, but without further ado, here's the video.
Is it on?
Yeah. Welcome to our steak dinner conversation.
Steak dinner conversation, very serious.
This is not going to be a series, but we are we're in the process of filming a podcast with my sister-in-law, Tiff's sister, and we had everything all set up. So we said, let's just film the podcast, or let's film us talking as like a bonus podcast for YouTube. We're going to be using these intimacy cards, which Tiff bought on...
Don't be scared. It's not anything weird. It's just questions to get to know your spouse better.
Yes. But we were reading these the other night, and we were like, it'd be fun to make a little video.
Q&A. Yeah, love about us.
Yeah. And Tiff decided to make a steak tonight, which is not
normal for us.
Not normal for us, but...
The sides are good, but the steak is, like, so cooked.
It's the type of steak you need ketchup with.
Hey, you didn't try it yet, so maybe you like it.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I can't get this to stay. It's falling on my steak. Hopefully we won't make any weird sounds in the mic while we're eating, so we'll try to be mindful.
Yeah, I cannot promise.
But, just a casual steak dinner asking each other some questions will be great.
This is a day in the life.
This is a normal day, a normal night for us. We're usually having a really nice meal. Just kidding. But actually, on the weekends, I find it very refreshing to cook. Almost therapeutic. Like, during the week, maybe it's like a busy week and we're getting home from work and I'm tired and I don't really want to cook. So I feel like the weekends are like a treat. I'm like, you probably feel so blessed to be my husband on the weekends just because I cook.
But I feel like you do cook most normal nights too.
Yeah, but not like nice meals. Like this, I take my time on it.
Yeah. Which I will never complain about free food.
All right, I need you to try the steak first. So you can put my conscience at ease to see if it's absolutely unedible or if you like it.
Grab this.
We're kind of sharing a steak knife.
It's not really
What's
a steak
this?
knife either. That's my...
You want this here?
Yeah, that's chill.
Okay, yes, like Mait said, I got an Instagram ad that got me. It's just questions to ask each other, get to know each other better.
We did it at dinner the other night with a no phone dinner, so got this big old bite. This is what you can see if you can see it, it's
not very pink.
It is fully gray. This is fully done steak.
All right, I want the review. I'm waiting. The flavor's kind of good. I don't make steak, so I'm like a rookie.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
All right.
I think it's straight.
But have it with a bite of potatoes, it's just...
Yeah, it's straight.
It's pretty good.
It's dinner. It's food.
Hey, this is a nice dinner, so... All right.
Let's start.
Do you want to pick a category? Past,
I don't care.
Okay. Let's do about you. Describe something that's exciting in your life right now.
Biking is really exciting for me right now.
Biking is very exciting for you.
It's a new...
Go
Oh,
ahead.
you're going to answer my question?
No.
What, you need a knife?
Yeah.
Okay. Biking is new and exciting because I was going to do this for the light, but I don't really like to wear my hats backwards. It's new and exciting because I've not been into endurance before, and it's just opening up a whole new world for me.
Yeah.
And it's really peaceful being out riding in the Greenway.
Yep.
But it is getting very cold, so I think it's going to have to
Dwindle
taper
a little
back.
bit.
But then I'm gonna start running.
Yeah. I will say this has shocked me a little bit because we're kind of hobby people. Like we'll get into something for a season and have fun and get all the gear we need and then kind of forget about it. But I thought biking would be that. I thought it'd be a few months of just you really enjoy it and then it fizzles. But you wake up genuinely just as excited to bike every single day as the first day. So it is kind of taking over our life, to be honest.
The butterflies have not gone away. If anything, they've remained,
Yes.
which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because it is not a cheap hobby.
Not cheap, and it costs a lot of time as well.
Time consuming and not cheap. It's not as bad as golf, though, for the golf husbands out there.
I agree. I could appreciate that.
Yeah.
Golf, you're gone like most of the day.
I think over time, golf is more expensive because you got to pay every time you go. And it's longer. Like, I think entry cost for golf might be a little bit cheaper, but it could be worse for you.
It could. All right, you want to ask me a question?
Yeah. How has your childhood or upbringing shaped your sexuality?
I told you not to pick from the red pile. The red pile is more like intimate questions.
Okay, let's go with this one.
Random, okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous would you be if I started to look through your phone?
This is a good question, a little trust. I would not feel nervous.
Not at all.
So scale of 1 to 10, I think probably like a 1 or 2. And the only nervousness would be like embarrassing like photos I'm taking and like I just don't, just like before and after photos or something.
What about
Text, I don't care. DMs, I don't care. I'm like, it's yours. You can look.
what about this? As a hot take, have you ever looked through my phone without me knowing?
Okay, so that's a funny thing to ask because you know the answer. Yes, I have.
How many times?
Because at first,
Probably too many to count.
well, I think one, I'm a curious person. It's not even out of like a distrust for you. I'm just like, oh, like who's he talking to? Who's he chatting with? Because you're very like generic sometimes when we talk of like I don't know.
Yeah.
If your mom texts you, I'm like, what'd your mom say?
I
And
don't
you're like,
want to
nothing.
reiterate everything that.
But then it's like something important to me of like, hey, she was asking if we could do dinner on Saturday. I was like, well, that's kind of helpful for me to know. So I like details. I like to know things. But I think maybe early on in our relationship, I was like fighting some insecurities of like, you gave me zero reason not to trust you. But maybe there's just like an insecurity in me of like, I really hope that he is who he says he is. Yeah. And he is. Praise God.
So you had to get the receipts just to make sure.
Yeah.
Did you ever find anything sketchy at all?
No, I don't think so. Like, I mean, for a minute I would dig just to make sure, but I never found anything.
Dang.
But it's weird to be married and like looking for something off.
Yeah.
I recognize that's
I feel like
toxic.
the quote is usually if you look for stuff, you can find it.
Have you ever seen anything sketchy on my phone?
No. And I don't think, other than like maybe when we were dating and you like would get up to go use the bathroom and left your phone.
You would look? You never told me that.
Like once or twice, like maybe. But other than that, I'm like, especially when we're married, I've never looked at your phone.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a high school, like early high school relationship, freshman year, where we would like hand each other our phones. And it was bad.
Oh, that's
We did it in front of people one time too, and it was just like, I just think back on that, I'm like, what the? Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, God.
Very toxic.
You want to go a little deeper?
Sure.
What lie have you told so much that you believe now?
Didn't I just ask you a question? Or didn't you just ask me a question?
No,
I didn't. Wow. Which lie
have you told yourself so much that you now believe? Is that hard?
It's hard to say if it's a lie or not because I think I believe it.
Oh, you want to unpack that?
You know, like I think anytime I have to read out loud, I'm like I'm terrible at reading. So no matter what, that's the first thing that goes through my head.
That's interesting. It's like, are you actually terrible at reading, or is it like?
I think I actually am though.
Well, we're still gotta process if that's a truth or not.
Yeah.
I don't ever hear you read out loud. Sometimes I'll try to like make you.
Try to avoid it at all costs.
Sometimes I try to make you.
Yo, popcorning is my worst nightmare. Popcorn to Mait. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh.
And you're just like practicing the line before.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I'm literally just reading for the sake of trying not to make a mistake. Mm-hmm. And I'm not comprehending anything. Mm-mm. I hope that eating and talking is not just an awful idea.
It might be. Well, we're gonna find out. We'll watch his back. Maybe never put it out.
All right, I ask you a question. What was your first impression of me?
All right. So. Okay.
You can chew before you answer, just so that we aren't blasting people with the back of our throats.
Thank you for that permission.
And I tried to like keep elaborating so that you had.
So I can chew. Yeah, the steak's so like chewy that it's like hard to like really.
I'm gonna eat while you.
Okay.
Answer.
So, I noticed Mait right away. I had just gotten on staff at Elevation, and he just came in through like an apprenticeship program, and he was like the new guy around. And I instantly noticed him and instantly was like, who is that? He's so cute. Long story short, I had a girlfriend, so I was like, I just didn't put you in my mind anymore. But my first impression was like, you were so cool. You stood out to me. I thought.
Do you remember what I was wearing?
Oh, definitely don't remember what you're wearing. But you did have a mullet, which is interesting. Your hair had the little.
You like that or no?
I kind of like what you have now better.
I kind of have a mullet, but it's a little less intense.
It's less intense.
Yeah.
I like what you have now better. But obviously he's like, if you know Mait, he's very tall, he's very strong, so you just stand out in general. But yeah, my first impression was like a curiosity about you. I like wanted to know more. You seemed really fun. Like I always saw you like joking with people, and I like that. So. Would
you have given me a first impression rose?
100%. 100%. Oh my gosh, I like it. Okay. As a parent, would you be the good cop or the bad cop? Oof.
Interesting. What does that mean?
Would you be the one to lay down the law, or would you be like the fun? Because you kind of got, I mean, at least.
Look, there's a little pink in there.
There's pink in my steak. I did good.
I feel like the bad cop. I feel like I play a little bit of both. A little bit of good cop, bad cop. But I definitely wouldn't let stuff slip. But I'm also feel like I'm like the one who like after the consequence happened would be like pull him aside or her aside and say, hey, like it's not that big of a deal, but just let's make sure you're. By the way, do you want a candy bar or something? I know that was hard. Maybe you didn't know that, you know.
Well, that's surprising because I feel like Mait's always the fun one, which makes me feel like I'll have to be the one that's more serious because you are so fun. But I like hearing that you have the other side to you. It's just, you know.
I think once it starts affecting my life, like it's easy to say now because we don't have a kid and it's, you know, whatever I can say, like, yeah, it'd be fun. But once the kid starts doing things that I'm like, I'm responsible for the way he's acting or she's acting, they knocked over this thing or talking wild or whatever, I feel like then I'm gonna be like, now I gotta kind of step into this versus like somebody else's kid, I'm like, yeah. Try and, you know, knock over the Jenga tower. And I think it's funny. Okay. But when it's my Jenga tower, I don't think it'll be funny. Describe a time when you had trust broken and how did that affect you?
I don't know if I answer that because I can't think of anything.
You don't want to answer that one? Okay. Share one thing you've done this week that has made your week better. That's kind of a weak question.
Really? Okay.
Describe the last time our relationship pushed you outside your comfort zone. Describe the situation. I think you gave me this question last time.
I don't know.
Another one? Or no?
I could think. Well, I think you pushed me in a lot of ways of like to be more active, to be fit. Anytime you like want me to work out with you, it always pushes me outside of my comfort zone because that's not the area I feel competent in and or enjoy. So that's always like a good type of discomfort. And you also, like if I'm ever just like processing something I'm feeling or going through, you do kind of like keep me in line in like a healthy way, but it's not comfortable for me because sometimes it's annoying because I'm like, well, you know, I'm just processing my thought, but you like make sure that I'm like not going down like too negative of a route and I appreciate that, but it's also like not always comfortable.
Sometimes you want to be negative.
If I'm honest, yeah.
Feel the feels.
I'm a feeler to the fullest.
Which is interesting because I'm not.
No, you're
Well,
matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I'm I want to feel.
Which has been tension for us.
Yeah. Because I'm you at least have to empathize with me. You can't just say you're fine, move on.
Yeah.
It's no, get in here with me, feel it. And then you can say, hey, let's come out together.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by that?
You know what I mean. That makes sense. Okay.
This is a funny way to describe it.
Describe how you'd spend a perfect Sunday.
5 a.m. wake up call. On the bike by 5:45. I would ideally go for 30, 40 miles. I would say 40 miles if we're talking about perfect Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
But that would put me, I would miss the 9:30 service. So I'm going to the 11:30 church service.
Okay.
After that, going out to lunch at a fun spot with friends. Mm-hmm. But chill, people roll up, people leave, whatever. Yeah. And then maybe a central location where there's a bunch of spots. Then come home, work out in the basement.
Does anybody else think that's crazy?
Country music. Honestly, I only like country music workouts on Sundays with the door open. Something about it. And then come back upstairs. Maybe watch some football or watch a movie. If we have enough time, fall asleep for a little 1 hour nap. And then do something like this, have dinner with you.
I was going to say, you better bring me into this perfect Sunday. I'm not working out. All right. Okay.
And then, have I think after the gym, spend time with you, watch a movie, cuddle on the couch. And then we make dinner, do something like this.
Are you saying you're going to help me make dinner? I like that.
No. You make me dinner.
I make dinner, okay.
If we're talking about perfect. And then, honestly, go to bed at, early. It's 6:30 right now. Finish dinner. Go to bed at in bed at 8. Yeah,
we're grandparents. Surprise.
Yeah. I think getting to bed early on Sunday is start the week off right.
I agree. It's setting yourself up for a good Monday morning. Mm-hmm. But confession is somehow Mate and I got 10 hours and 40 minutes or something of sleep last night.
40 minutes. That's track sleep.
That's wild sleep. I don't know how that happened, but I was not feeling good before bed, so I went to bed at literally 7, thinking I'd wake up at 11 and be oh my gosh, I'm awake now. But I slept until my alarm went off at 5, and yeah, it was even daylight savings, so it was technically 6. That's wild. That's not normal, but I was are we okay?
We're not. We're some sleepy people.
Lately. Aw, okay. I feel the most loved when you.
This is me answering that?
Yes.
I feel the most loved when you?
Yeah.
I feel the most loved when... I feel the most... I think I feel the most loved when you... understand me. It's small things, but I definitely have my quirks and my kind of rhythms and routines, and when you acknowledge the things I value and then support me in that, it feels like...
It's like biking?
It could be working out, it could be getting ahead on a project, it could be achieving a goal that I've expressed to you. When you encourage me and support me in that, it's I feel oh wow, she this person's for me, you know, versus we're two people living our lives and it just crosses over. It's you've heard me say something I really want to start this thing or this thing, and it's you do something that it can be as simple as a text when I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna go work on this project, and you're okay, I love you or something like that, and not something
want to leave you home.
Yeah, just it just felt like you were supportive in it. So
I like that.
Yeah,
I'll try to keep doing that and / be better.
Yeah. But also when I went for my run today and you said, okay, I'm at Whole Foods, love you, it just felt like I was like able to just go.
Yeah.
Like, it felt supportive in a way.
Yeah. It wasn't like, okay, hurry back.
Yeah, because like we had plans to make lunch and this and that. So yeah, the little things. I'm not a complex guy.
You're very simple, actually.
How can I make you more confident in our future together?
Oh, okay.
How can I just boost that thing?
I just like when you show your leadership because you're a great leader, but I like when you take initiative and like, hey, I was looking at the year and this is the budget we have. Listen, for some reason that's so attractive to me. If you ever like really take hold of like our family and like our life of like
the adulting of it.
The adult like because I think
but
we're
I'm just
both
a baby.
I know, but so am I. So I needed
We both
you're not
are.
my dad, but I need to
I'll be your dad.
No, that's weird. But I'm just saying like I like when you're like, hey, I looked at our house payment and decided that if we up it $50 a month, then we'll actually have to pay whatever. I like that stuff.
You liked it when I said that?
And I like when you lead like spiritually of like, hey, this is something we can pray for our family for, or I was reading the Bible and God spoke to me this, like almost like vision for our life because I was watching a sermon by Bill Johnson, but he said like something along the lines of like nobody can follow someone that doesn't have vision, like something like that. And I'm like, that's how I feel about families of like I feel the most confident in our future when you have vision for our family. Yeah. And we definitely like share so much like of like marriage. Like it's definitely not like one over the other, but
the person to come from the mountain.
Yeah, but it does. I do always appreciate that because I think there is something specific God's put in men to do that for like the household. That I'm like, I'm praying and I'm seeking God and I can come to you just the same and say like, I feel like God spoke this and we can together in partnership like move forward in that. But I love when you do that. Yeah. Long answer.
I like that. I mean, it's interesting because like when you're single, you have to do that for your life. Yeah. Be like responsible, bills, budgets, spiritual life, physical life. And then you get married, and then you still have to keep up with that solo, but now you're doing that for another person as well as a team, but then also leading in different areas. Sure. So that's one thing I feel like just in marriage in general that is like, it feels sometimes like a lot to like do, but it's like really important, I think.
I like that.
And I know that it means a lot to you, and I can always do better in it. I like that. Let's do like one more.
All right. Well, this one's maybe.
Our steak is almost done.
Yeah, it's just a dinner conversation here. Yeah. Okay, so.
This is where it starts to get deep.
Obviously, we're married, so we don't believe in divorce and we'll fight till the end for our marriage. So this question's a little bit funny, but it says, if our relationship ended tomorrow, what 3 things would you miss the most? And it's kind of sad because obviously we're not ending our relationship, but. I'm curious what you'd miss.
I've thought about this though.
You have?
I don't know why I have this very morbid, but like, what would happen if you died?
Oh, this is not if I died.
It's pretty close though.
No, if our relationship ended.
Which I would probably not be your friend or see you or be around you anymore. So it's like close to dying. That's so sad. But I always am curious. I'm like, what would I do? What would be the things? And I had some good ones the other day.
You just think about this often? That's so sad.
It is sad, but I don't know why stuff like that pops in my head. Not just for you, but I mean, definitely like I was thinking like your lingo, which is like obviously no one will get this, but the way that we talk to each other and like when we're just in like chill goof mode and we can just like kind of riff off of each other.
It's kind of the way that only me and you can connect. Like nobody else on earth could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even just like little catchy things that we TikToks or slogans that we've like said that I'm like, you can't, like, that only can come with, like, time with somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not something I could, like, oh, this other girl likes watching football, like,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, like, that's like, that's irreplaceable. Yeah. And I was literally thinking, like, your, like, specific meals and, like, the way that you cook.
Oh, you'd miss a few of our regular meals.
Because I've told you this, but there's, like, the way that you cook as well is very, I know you wouldn't say this, but it's very, like, chef-like, where it's not like,
wow.
it's like you just have a swag, you have like a
Oh my goodness.
like you can just mix, like, take a bunch of stuff and mix it and it just tastes good. Or you take something that I've eaten my whole life that's so bland and you're like, what if you did this, this, and this, and it tastes better.
Add a little pizzazz.
You just know how to move in the kitchen, and and I think I would miss that a lot because I don't think that could be replicated either. It said 3, so I got one more.
So my jokes and my cooking so far.
Your personality and your cooking. And your skill level of cooking.
All right.
I think you're like your spiritual like care or conviction, if you want to use a more Christian word, of like, I'm never like asking you or convincing you or telling you like, hey, we should do this, or you should read your Bible, or you should bring up more things in conversation. Like, it's just who you are, and it's in you, and it's from your entire life of like living like that, and it's very contagious to be around. So it's like, I think that has obviously one of my favorite qualities about you is just how strong and what?
This blesses my heart because I'm not going anywhere, but it's just sweet to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's something that I would miss.
Should I answer this one too? It's
Yeah, this is a good one to end on.
It's kind of sweet.
Also, I almost just cried there, so I just
No, you did a little.
And
it was hard. It was making my heart beat.
I was like, what's happening right now?
I know, and I'm also like, do people think we're weirdos?
All right, 3 things you'd miss if I
there's so many.
cut you off or died.
There are literally so many hundreds of things I would miss. It's like down to the little quirky things that exactly what you're saying of like no one else would do or know. Like, oh, I don't think I could pick.
Well, you have to pick at least 3. They don't have to be your top 3, just 3.
Okay, that helps. Not my top 3.
Because those are just like 3 like things that just like jumped at me. Obviously,
I would miss your joy for life because you just have you have such a like ability to enjoy every little moment and make everything like so memorable and so fun. I would miss that like joy and laughter because you just fill our home with so much laughter, and I love that.
Don't block your hands up for the
Okay.
microphone.
It's hard because I can't pick just a few. I would miss like, and I'm not trying to be weird, but I would just miss like your touch and affection because it's just like the most safe feeling that I have. It's just like your protection and your just like love and hugs and all that. And I just would, I don't want to steal your answer, but I feel like your personality is like, once you just like click with someone like that, it would be like so hard to try to like recreate so many memories, so many moments, so many like things that it's just like us. I can't believe we're 3 years in next week. And in so many ways,
we can drop this on our anniversary.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay. But in so many ways, it's like, feels like a lifetime because we've created so many memories and like things that you could just never try to explain to somebody. It's just like, it's just us. We get each other even when we don't. It's like we just, you say something and I'm just like I don't know. It's just we get each other. So it makes me sad to think about, but
I know. I do feel like for people who do like have to go through that, it's like we've only been married for 3 years, together for 4 years, and I'm like, that's in the grand scheme of life, it's not that long. But at this point, like the amount of like closeness that we've had, I'm like, man, I don't feel like trying again. Like I don't know how people, that must be so hard to go through that and then like reset, realign. So luckily, hopefully we won't ever have to answer those questions, those 3 questions, because they'll just grow, and then one day we'll find each other. We'll float around to each other in heaven and be like, hey, remember?
Float around.
Because who knows?
Since when do we not have legs in heaven?
I don't think we're going to be people in heaven, but...
You don't?
No. And also, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be married in heaven.
Which is such a weird thought. Because I'm like, will I just see you and be like, hey?
I did hear... I think so. I did hear like a kind of a morbid thought, but it was if you married somebody and then they died and you got remarried and then you both died, who would you be married to in heaven?
Yeah, I don't think you are married in heaven. Because you're
wouldn't that be very
kind
unfortunate?
of married to Jesus. Yeah, because
your spouse has been waiting for you up there this whole time. You get up there and you pull up with another girl.
Yes, that's a wild thought, and you're crazy for that.
Okay, that's a good place to end it.
All right.
Well, this has been our steak dinner conversations.
I hope it was somewhat entertaining. We had fun, but
yeah, we'll do it again. We bought these microphones. So.
Unless people are like, we don't care.
Unless if it doesn't hit over 50,000 views, we won't do it again. If it hits over 50,000 and we get a sponsor for the next one by Intimacy Best Self, we'll do another one. But honestly, shameless plug, these are a great way to have, if you're just like, we just scroll or we just hang and talk about nothing with your spouse, with your, probably not your boyfriend.
Some of the questions are like for marriage for sure.
Yeah. Great questions. Intimacy, best self, and some fully cooked, fully done steak.
Chewy
steak.
Chewy steak.
Okay.
All right. This has been Dinner Chats.
Dinner Chats.
Is this for the YouTube channel or for what?
I don't know.
Put it on your YouTube. People want to see this over workout videos. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. They want both. But I'm saying,
I get it.
I personally would be more interested in getting to know you rather than just...
You would rather get to know me than watch me work out?
I personally, yes. Although I like both. All right.
All right, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching and making it all the way to the end. You're a real one, unless you scrubbed all the way to the end and now you're just here, which I get it. But hopefully you enjoyed it. If there was a part in the conversation that you really enjoyed, leave a comment down below on what your favorite part was. Or if there's a question that you have that we didn't answer, maybe we'll run it back and do it again. Maybe this time we won't choose steak. Maybe we'll just do something else. But we had a lot of fun making this and hopefully more to come. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next video.